Rats aren't really considered to be among the most neurologically developed creatures, but some new research shows something pretty interesting about them. And that is, they can actually do each other favors.
Yeah.
That they have the capacity to remember altruistic deeds and to pay back their rat buddies.
What's exciting about this is there hasn't really been any experimental data to support this. Before, it's been studied in different species, and altruism in exchange for favors and commodities has been very much a tit for tat kind of a thing. It's, you know, I give you food, so then you end up giving me food. This is food for grooming. And so because the exchange is on different commodities, it's interesting to see how much of that altruism is really there and how much they're valuing different things. The researchers put saltwater behind the necks.
Look how cute this is.
On these rats, just where they couldn't reach it themselves. So they would need the help of other rats. And then they also had food come in that was something that they could just shove and give to each other if they wanted to. And what they found is that in effect, rats would, give more food to those comrades that had helped them with the salt water on their neck, and vice versa. They would help each other more if they had received food from the other rat.
And in return, rats that were full now from delicious rat food were more likely to help whoever had helped them, which is kind of cute.
It is. It's almost charity at this point, because now it's like, oh, okay, now I'm full. I'm going to give this to those who are hungry, and I'm going to, it's very altruistic, and it's studies that have been done in different species. Bees have been studied a lot. You have primates in particular who definitely remember.
I remember in college learning about bonobos trading sexual favors for fruit. This one about rats is currently in current biology, if you want to check that one up. But it's interesting to see this come from rats instead of, primates, which have much more developed brains that we would consider.
And we're talking about rats that, these Norwegian rats in particular, were not necessarily, prompted to do this. Like, this is behavior that occurs very naturally. So the conclusions that these researchers are coming to is that actually altruism in non-human species is much more prevalent than we have given thought to, because up until now, we assumed it wasn't happening in nature. We assumed it was always survival of the fittest, a very kind of selfish biology trend.
That's interesting, and I'm trying not to apply politics to it at the moment. So we've seen this before in apes, in birds even?
Yeah, we've seen it a lot in vervet monkeys, which, fun fact, if you do not know about vervet monkeys, they are the ones with the blue balls.
Oh.
They're the blue ball monkeys.
Now
Fun fact of the day.
Now you're talking my language.
Now nerd alert comes through. So a lot of it has been done in vervet monkeys. They're very adept climbers as well. They have other skills and abilities and kind of identifiable qualifiers other than their blue balls. But yeah, there's been a lot of studies of altruism. Again, it's just always been experiments that have been tit for tat. It's always been food for food, grooming for grooming, and it's something that was on par and equivalent where they didn't have to make judgment calls.
That's interesting. Audience, what do you think of this brown rat study, and are you surprised to learn that they actually are pretty nice to each other? Please let us know on Facebook and Twitter.